Om Namo Bhagavate Shri Arvindaya. Om Anandamayi. Om Chaitanyamayi. Om Satyamayi. Om Parame. O Lord, with full faith, love and surrender, we are ready for thy victory. Om Peace, Peace, Peace. Peace to the mind, peace to the vital, peace to the physical, peace to the emotions, peace to the people around the world. Savitri, Book 12, page 697. Book 11, the Book of Everlasting Day, the Soul's Choice and Supreme Consummation, page 697. I will read few lines and I will pause. We can meditate those lines and again we continue reading. We follow this for all the readings. Immeasurably the woman's nature spoke, thy oneness, Lord, in many approaching hearts, my sweet infinity of thy numberless souls, mightily retreating like a sea in ebb, a third time swell the great admonishing call. I spread abroad the refuge of my wings, out of its incommunicable deeps my power looks forth of mightiest splendor, stilled into its majesty of sleep, withdrawn above the dreadful whirlings of the world. A sob of things was answer to the voice, and passionately the women's art replied, thy energy, Lord, to seize on women and men, to take all things and creatures in their grief and gather them into a mother's arms. solemn and distant like a seraph's slur. A last great time the warning sound was heard. I opened the wide eye of solitude to uncover the voiceless rapture of my bliss, where, in a pure and exquisite hush, it lies motionless in its slumber of ecstasy. Resting from the sweet madness of the dance, out of whose beat the throb of hearts was born, breaking the silence with appeal and cry, a hymn of adoration, tireless climb, a music beat of winged uniting souls. Then all the women yearningly replied, thy embrace which rends the living knot of pain, thy joy, O Lord, in which all creatures breathe, thy magic flowing waters of deep love, thy sweetness give to me for earth and men. Then after silence, a still blissful cry began, such as arose from the infinite when the first whisperings of a strange delight imagine in its deep the joy to seek. 4 letters of Sri Aurobindo. 23rd December 1933. There are some prayers of the Mother of 1914 in which she speaks of transformation and manifestation. Since at that time she was not here, does this not mean that she had these ideas long before she came here? The Mother had been spiritually conscious from her youth, even from her childhood upward, and she had done sadhana and had developed this knowledge very long before she came to India. Sri Aurobindo. Sri Aurobindo's The Life Divine, page 1010. The three powers which present themselves to our life as the three keys to its mystery are the individual, the cosmic entity, and the reality, present in both and beyond them. These three mysteries of existence would find in the life of the supramental being a united fulfillment of their harmony. He will be the perfected and complete individual, fulfilled in the satisfaction of his growth and self-expression. For all his elements would be carried to a highest degree and integrated in some kind of comprehensive largeness. What we are striving towards is completeness and harmony. An imperfection and incapacity or a discord of our nature is that from which inwardly we most suffer. But this is because of our incompleteness of being, our imperfect self knowledge, our imperfect possession of ourself and our nature, a complete self knowledge in all things and at all moments is the gift of the supramental gnosis, and with it a complete self mastery, not merely in the sense of control of nature, but in the sense of a power of perfect self expression in nature. Whatever knowledge of self there would be perfectly embodied in the will of the self, the will perfectly embodied in the action of the self. The result would be the self's complete dynamic self-formulation in its own nature. In the lower grades of Gnostic being, there would be a limitation of self-expression according to the variety of the nature, a limited perfection in order to formulate some side element or combined harmony of elements of some divine totality, a restricted selection of powers from the cosmic figure of the infinitely manifold One. But in the supramental being, this need of limitation for perfection would disappear. The diversity would not be secured by limitation, but by a diversity in the power and hue of the supernature. The same whole of being and the same whole of nature would express themselves in an infinitely diverse fashion, for each being would be a new totality, harmony, self-equation of the one being. What would be expressed in front or held behind at any moment would depend not on capacity or incapacity, but on the dynamic self-choice of the spirit, its delight of self-expression, on the truth of the divine's will and joy of itself in the individual, and subordinately on the truth of the thing that had to be done through the individual in the harmony of the totality. For the complete individual is the cosmic individual, since only when we have taken the universe into ourselves and transcended it can our individuality be complete. The Mother Agenda, Volume 1, Prayers of the Consciousness of the Cells, October 9, 1959, Durga. You are my light, my force, and my joy. You are my sovereign realization. O Lord, you are my peace, my force, and my joy. You are my sovereign realization. O Supreme Lord, you are my light, my force, and my joy. You are my sovereign realization. October 15, 1917. I have cried to thee in my despair, O Lord, and thou hast answered my call. I have no right to complain of the circumstances of my existence, or they are not constant with what I am, or they not consonant with what I am, because thou leddest me to the threshold of thy splendor and gavest me the joy of thy harmony. I thought I had reached the goal, but in truth, thou hast regarded thy instrument in the perfect clarity of thy light and plunged its back into the crucible of the world, that it may be melted anew and purified. In these hours of an extreme and anguished aspiration I feel myself drawn by thee with a dizzy rapidity along the road of transformation, and my whole being vibrates to a conscious contact with the infinite. It is so that thou givest me patience and the strength to surmount this new ordeal. Prayer for peace. Peace, peace upon all the earth. May all escape from the ordinary consciousness and be delivered from the attachment for material things. May they awake to the knowledge of thy divine presence, unite themselves with thy supreme consciousness, and taste the plenitude of peace that springs from it. Lord, thou art the sovereign master of our being. Thy law is our law, and with all our strength we aspire to identify our consciousness with thy eternal consciousness, that we may accomplish thy sublime work in each thing and every moment. Lord, deliver us from all care for contingencies. Deliver us from the ordinary outlook on things. Grant that we may henceforth see only with thy eyes and act only by thy will. Transform us into living torches of thy divine love, with reverence, with devotion, in a joyful consecration of my whole being. I give myself, O Lord, to the fulfillment of thy law. Peace, peace upon all the earth. Divine Mother, we thank you for this collective prayer and collective collaboration from our friends and near and dear ones from all parts of the world. Let Aurobindo spreads the light and love, peace and joy to all those who connect in this awe of God. Thank you, Mother. Om. Peace to all. Thanks for being with us. Greetings from Aurobindo.